Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be testing out a brand new skin tint. You guys know every time a new skin tint comes out on the market, I am first in line to try it out, and I'm so excited to test this one out. It's been very highly requested, the new Tower28 Sunny Days with SPF 30. This skin tint is really interesting because I feel like it's kind of marketed as an SPF first with the addition of the tint. So it seems to me to be more of like a skincare focused product, which I think is really cool. Let me know in the comments if you guys have tried this and what your thoughts are. I would really love to know. I'm very excited to see what this is going to be like for my skin. We're going to test it out. We're going to wear it for the entire day, see how it wears, and just kind of see what happens. And I'll give you my final review and who I think this would be best for at the end of the video. Before we get into it, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Without further ado, let's get started. So let's start off first by breaking down this product. I want to mention that this is actually the very first complexion product that Tower28 has released, which is really exciting. Up until now, they've pretty much only had cheek products and lip products. So I really have no idea what to expect because I've never tried any other complexion products from Tower28 because they just haven't existed up until now. So this retails for $30 and there's 14 shades in the lineup. The description of the product says that it's a 2-in-1 mineral sunscreen foundation with broad spectrum UVA, UVB, SPF 30 protection. It says that it's supposed to even redness, combat blue light pollution, and soothe UV stressed skin while maintaining a natural finish so your freckles, moles, and real skin can have their moment in the sun. I got most excited about the fact that this says that it's designed for problem and sensitive skin. Being that this is an SPF, I'm personally like really sensitive when it comes to sunscreens. My skin just breaks out immediately if it doesn't like it. It also says that this is the first complexion makeup with the National Eczema Association seal of acceptance, which is pretty cool too. And it's safe for all skin types, including sensitive skin. It's also alcohol and fragrance free. So that all sounds really great to me, but let's actually put it on the face and see what happens. So I am currently filming in front of a window. I figured, especially when it comes to like a foundation first impression, the best way for you guys to see how the foundation actually sits on the skin is with natural light. So here we are. Before I put anything on my face, I'm going to moisturize my skin. So this is the Summer Fridays Cloud Dew Oil-Free Gel Cream. I'm using moisturizer and not primer because I really don't want to alter the wear or look at the foundation at all. But a moisturizer is pretty much what I always do because it just allows everything to sit a lot nicer since I do have a drier skin type. Oh, that reminds me, in case you're new here, first of all, hi, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. But second of all, you may not be familiar with my skin type, and I have a dry skin type, also sensitive skin as well. So it's really important for me that foundations sit well on top of my dry patches, and I currently do have some dry patches to contend with. Okay, so the shade that I'm going to be using today is number 10, which is the second lightest shade. I did swatch this earlier. It does look like it's going to be too light for me, unfortunately. So the shade may be a little bit off, but I'll hopefully be able to fix that with a little bit of bronzer later. So shouldn't be too bad, but yes, it is going to be a little bit too light. Comes in a little squeezy tube. Gonna take out about that much and just see what it gets me. It's definitely a very runny product and it feels very serum like as well, and it actually feels really nice and hydrating, which is getting me excited. I'm going to use a small foundation brush to apply. This is my Zoeva 103 Defined Buffer, and I'm just going to pick up the product on the back of my hand a little bit at a time, and let's just jump in and start applying. That's like a lot more coverage than I expected. What? Just based off the description, I thought that this would be like incredibly sheer, but I mean, you guys saw how that just covered. That's a solid medium coverage right there. And you know what? This color is a little bit light for my face, but it seems to match my neck nicely. So I think we'll be good to go. Something that I want to note right away because it's actually getting me kind of excited. This doesn't smell at all. It has absolutely zero traceable scent. It doesn't even smell like sunscreen, which is getting me very excited because I am so sensitive to the smell of sunscreen. I really hate it. And if any product even smells a little bit like sunscreen, I won't want to use it, especially foundation products. And I always find that mineral sunscreens have kind of this like metallic scent to it. And this doesn't have that, which is something that I was actually a little bit worried about. And I'm so happy that it's not there. Yay. Okay. that's a good sign. For some reason, I always have texture like right in this area over here, and it seems to kind of be accentuating that just a little bit. Not sure if you guys can really see that, but it's kind of just like attaching to those dry areas right there. There's very few foundations though that don't do that to me. I think it's always important to remember that texture is texture, and so it's kind of impossible to actually hide texture, especially when it is actually flaky. And right now that area is definitely flaky, and it is like somewhat accentuating it just a little bit. Nothing like super crazy, but it is there. Whenever I do a foundation first impression, I'm always extra picky with what I see, probably even more so than everyday life, but it's just because I want to give you guys all of my thoughts. But besides that, everything is looking really good. Like I said, I was actually very impressed with the amount of coverage that had. That pretty much got rid of all of my redness with the very small amount that I applied on the back of my hand, which was really nice. If I had to compare this to another product that I've tried, I would say that it is quite similar. Not like completely exactly the same, but it reminds me a lot of the Kosas tinted face oil. The tinted face oil from Kosas is more serum-like. It has more of like an oilier texture, but I feel like that's the closest comparison that I can come up with, just in the way that it applies and the way that it feels, and even the texture, even though the Kosas one is definitely more on like the oilier side. Besides that, I mean, it's looking really good. It looks very skin-like. It's not giving me like an insane glow. It's not drying on my skin and looking matte. It just kind of looks and kind of feels like skin. It also feels really nice and lightweight, and when I touch it, it doesn't feel too tacky. Like, it doesn't really feel 100% set down, but it's not like a super tacky formula where I feel like I definitely absolutely have to set it with powder. So far, this is kind of looking exactly how I would want it to look. Like, this is not giving me any crazy surprises. I think what makes this product special and unique is the fact that it has that SPF of 30. It also has really awesome coverage as a foundation, and if this actually wears well throughout the day and I like everything about it as a foundation, then that combination with that SPF and the fact that it's also supposed to be really great for sensitive skin, and I think that's what makes this kind of stand apart from the other skin tints that I've tried. So now that you guys know my first impressions, I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup, and I'll be back to give you guys some more thoughts. The rest of my makeup has been applied. Let me give you guys a nice little close-up of what everything is looking like. To be very honest with you, there's like not much for me to say because everything is looking kind of exactly how I would want it to look. It's looking really good. Besides a little bit of texture accentuation right over here, everywhere else in my face where I do have dryness, it's not even accentuating it. So I'm not even that pressed about this little stash area that I have. I just kind of like how easy that entire application was. It was definitely not finicky. It just blended and meshed into the skin very, very easily, and it just gave me such a nice natural finish. I really think the only thing to do now is just to wait and see how this wears throughout the day. That's really going to be the true test. So some of the things that I'm looking out for, I want to see if my skin gets extra shiny. That sometimes happens with like SPF based foundations for me. I also want to see obviously just how it wears, if it fades, if it goes anywhere throughout the day. We're also going to do a white cast test because this does have SPF in it. I want to see if this gives me insane flashback, which can sometimes happen. I also would love to test out if this breaks me out. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to test that out today. I'm going to have to wear this for an extended period of time and get back to you guys with that answer, but that is going to be like the ultimate test to see if this actually is good for my sensitive skin. So right now it's 11 a.m. This is what my face is looking like, and I'll check in with you guys a little bit later. So I'm back to give you guys a little bit of an update and also some more information about the product, because I just realized that this product actually is not available in Canada, which breaks my heart. And I know all my Canadians right now are screaming because so frustrating when that happens. The reason why I have it is because it was sent to me in PR. A lot of the times products that have SPF are not available in Canada because I do believe that Canada has some restrictions and rules regarding SPF. Anyways, with that being said, I'm really impressed with the overall finish of the foundation. A lot of foundations that do have SPF typically get really kind of like oily and shiny on my skin, even though I don't have an oilier skin type. But that did not happen with this whatsoever. As you can see, there's very little shine on my face. The shine that's there is just like a nice natural do, which I'm totally okay with. In fact, I invite that, but it's not crazy like glowy or shiny or anything like that. This is definitely not a transfer proof product at all. If I were to take a white paper towel and rub it on my face or even just dab it on my face, there would be transfer. It doesn't feel like it completely set down. It does have that very slight, I don't want to say it's tacky because it doesn't feel sticky, but it just doesn't feel set. Like when I touch my face, it feels like I'm getting a little bit of the foundation on my fingers. I did want to make a couple notes about the SPF in this product because I think it's important to kind of have that reminder, especially in foundations that do have SPF. In order to get protection from the SPF that's in the product, you do have to use a sufficient amount. So that's typically like 3 or 4 finger lengths of product. So if you really do want to make sure that you're getting that protection, you do want to use enough product. So yes, a product like this is nice, but if you don't want to use a lot of it, like if you really want to use just a small amount just to get like a nice tint across your face, then it would be smart to also use another SPF underneath to really give yourself that protection that you're looking for. Also, this does smell like SPF. I don't know what happened, but 30 minutes into wearing this product, I started to smell that dreaded metallic scent that mineral SPFs have. And I was like, no. I was really hoping it wouldn't have that scent, but I guess that's pretty much impossible to get around. You do definitely smell it. It's not like totally terrible. I'm just personally really sensitive to that type of scent specifically. It's not something that would turn me off from wearing this, but it's just something to note. Let's do a quick flash test and see if this has any flashback. That is a horrific picture of me, but yeah, no flashback, so that's good. Here's a nice little close-up of what my skin is actually looking like. You can see like everything just looks really, really good. There's really nothing bad for me to say about this. It didn't even rub off on my chin or around my mouth, which is actually kind of impressive because that's where my foundation goes first, typically. Hello, I'm back for my last check-in of the day. I just came back home from dinner. It's currently 9:30 p.m. I put on the foundation at 11, so it has been just over 10 hours. So at my 5-hour check-in, I found that nothing really changed so much on my face. The foundation looked relatively the same as it did when I first applied it. Now, 10.5 hours later, things have definitely gotten a little bit drier on my skin. Basically in this entire area of my face, around my mouth and like my smile lines, around my nose, the foundation has kind of started to break up on my face and it really has started to accentuate the dryness. So here's what it looks like. This is really the only part of my face where I feel like things have actually changed. So my forehead and my cheeks all look really nice, but where I'm extra dry and flaky, like right around here, it just doesn't look so good after the 10-hour mark. So all of this is telling me is that if you do have very textured and dry skin, this may not be the best, but if you do have more of like a normal skin type where you don't have that dry texture, or if you're maybe a little bit on like the oilier side, then you probably won't have the same problem as I'm having. I'm actually just surprised that this ended up being the result at the end of the day because it really did take quite a turn so late in the wear time. I'm definitely not completely turned off by this foundation at all, even though it did accentuate my dryness. I'm not totally like freaking out about it or anything like that. I'm still very interested in continuing to test it out and also try it out with different types of bases and different types of moisturizers just to see how it is. Because it did wear so well for the majority of the wear time, my hopes are still high with it. It's not like a complete home run like some other skin tints that I've tried, like the Fenty Ease Drop, for example, or the MAC Face and Body. This is very different from a lot of the other skin tints that I've tried, just in the fact that it has a lot more coverage than a lot of my skin tints. And I also really like the fact that it just looked so natural, even with that higher coverage. So I think overall I would give this maybe a 7.5 on 10. So I like this. It's definitely good. It's better than average, but there are some kinks that I need to work out for myself. But I would really love to hear from anybody who has tried this skin tint. What was your experience like? I always find for these types of videos, it's really helpful when people leave reviews. So this video could be placed not just where you get my opinion, but you could go into the comments and get everybody else's opinion as well. If you did enjoy today's video and found it helpful, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And that's it. I'm gonna go take my makeup off now and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.